Artsy Gamer 7, and welcome back to another Sim video, which hasn't been on the channel for a while. So yeah, a lot has happened in between there, and I was sort of focusing on making sure that I was getting the LPs edited and put out versus the Sims. That was just my more focus while I was having other things going on. If you don't know what all was going on, it was a lot. Just to summarize it real quickly, it was health issues, which are still slightly ongoing, not nearly as bad. Change of jobs. One of my cats sadly passed away. Vacation, most recently. I feel like there was something else, in all honesty. But there has been some recent vlogs that go in more depth about those things, if you want to go watch those. If not, that's okay. But welcome to another Fire Emblem Sim video, and this one is the creation of Sombron from Fire Emblem Engage. So this is part of my Fire Emblem series where I was focusing mainly on Engage characters. However, I did start adding non-Engage characters on the wheel that I was spinning. But I will go ahead and say this because so much has happened in between when I started the series to now. Well, a lot of time has passed, that other than this video and one other video that I technically already had recorded, so therefore there's no point in not putting them up. I'm going to end the Fire Emblem CAS series before, technically, not necessarily before I meant to, because by now I assumed that I would have been done with the series. Or at least, at least Series 1, because there's so many characters in Fire Emblem. Obviously, I cannot create them all in Sims that quickly. But I at least, was like, yeah, I'm going to have this number of characters created. And, probably by the time the end of spring comes around, or close to the end of spring, before summer, I'll be onto the new Sim, and here we are. It is now July, and technically I still have Fire Emblem, but that's because I kept putting it on hold and was had other things going on. But I do have the two recorded, so here you get to see these two, and I've already spun the wheel, so I already know what the next CAS series is going to be. So I hope you look forward to it. But for now, let's talk about Sombron here. So, because the game isn't that new, but it's still new enough that it's not a year old yet, so technically it's still decently new, so I'll try to give a brief summary of Sombron here. Sombron, before I go into details, and then you can mute the video if you would like. Sombron here is the main antagonist of Fire Emblem Engage, and you should be seeing a picture of him. As far as my sim version of him, for the most part, I was actually pretty happy with him. The main thing where I wish I could have done more is, more clothing aesthetic-wise. Just because even in my vast, numerous amounts of Sim objects, I didn't have exactly what I wanted or needed for certain things, the weird shoulder details he has. And some of this stuff, I don't know if it's technically clothing on him or if it is a part of it. I'm not really sure. The shoulder details, I think it's just clothing. But yeah, anyway, and also the pants, they have a lot of little colored details and stuff on them. I don't have anything that looks like that, but and as far as him aesthetically looking, just if you took off some of the stuff off of Sombron and Fire Emblem, I think, I did a pretty good close job with what I had. Obviously, I couldn't get his third eye, but I tried. I tried a few things to get that symbolism of that, and I think I had something on him at some point. But then in the ending photos, I don't think I kept it. Oh no, it's still there. Never mind, it's still there. There's a representation for that third eye. It's just not an actual eye. But yeah. So overall, I was actually pretty happy with how he turned out, and I hope that you will like how he turned out. Let me know down in the comments below, because like I said, I have it, or you should already be seeing it, a picture. So for anyone who hasn't played Fire Emblem or watched anyone play Fire Emblem, you should at least have an idea of what he looks like, so that you know. But At this point, I am going to go into a little bit more details about the game itself. So if you are someone who has not beaten the game yet, because Sombron obviously is the main antagonist, I have beaten the game, so therefore I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, at this moment, feel free to mute your mic and just enjoy the video, play some music as you watch it, whatever, if you don't want to hear any details or anything that I have to say about Sombron that comes from the story. Because where he is the main antagonist, there's going to be a lot of spoilers that I'm about to say here. A lot of decently big spoilers, so yeah. I'm giving you a moment. If you haven't already muted it and I start saying something that you didn't want to hear, too bad I gave you time. For those of you who don't care or who have already beat the story and are continuing on to listening to my voice, hello. How are you doing? Hopefully you're having a great day. Let's talk about Sombron. So, I think I've mentioned before, I really love the Fire Emblem series. But the way that I play Fire Emblem is I like to play it the way that it was sort of meant to be played. Because, like, the first so many Fire Emblems didn't even have a mode to where the permadeath wasn't an option. So when you played through, if one of your characters, one of your, like, team members died, they were dead. That was it. And that's how I like to play it, because that's originally how the game was meant, and it gives me a challenge. But the problem is, well, there's two problems. One is my attention span. I could really hyper-focus and play a game for a pretty long time. Sims is one of those. That should just be an obvious thing. I play Sims a lot, still to this day. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, at this point. I got it day one. And though I have not played it every single day, granted, I would have loved to, but I am still playing it, and I don't see myself being close to the end, because I want to try to do as many of the side adventures and the side quests. I want to find all the shrines. I'm not going to find all the Koraks, but I'll find as many as I possibly can. I want to get the whole underground map done. There's like a few other things that I for surely want to 100% complete. So, therefore, I'm going to be a bit. Yeah. I'm trying to go and find most of the caves so that I find most of the bubble gems, because, yeah, but that's taking a long process because I keep getting distracted. Anyway, back to Fire Emblem, not Zelda. So yeah, I can hyper focus on a game or play it for a really long time. And a lot of times I do play Fire Emblem for a pretty extended amount of time. But eventually a new game comes out or something happens, and then there's a high chance that I'll start slowly not playing it as much. But also because I like playing it in that original intended mode, when I lose a character, I go back to the next save and try to make sure that I can play it in a way that I save that character. I consider that a challenge, and it's a challenge that I like. Therefore, though, I've gotten stuck in several of the Fire Emblems I've played, and I have only beat 2 Fire Emblems out of the, 5 or 6 of them that I have played. I love them all. Every single one of them I played. I loved it up to the point that I played it, and I still loved it. It wasn't that I fell out of love with it. It didn't help that I'm also not a huge portable person, and a lot of them were on, the DS that I played. But I played it for a very, very long time, either way. That being said, even being on the DS. And Fates is one of my favorite ones. I didn't beat it. I've tried playing the... Oh, I'm forgetting. Conquest. That was the one. I like that side. I did try to do Rebirth, but I didn't want to go too far in Rebirth until I finished my original one in Conquest, but I got stuck in Conquest. But anyway, that's besides the point. Engage is one of the ones that I beat. So, from what a little bit I know about the antagonist in the games that I didn't beat, and what I do know about the antagonist in the other game I beat, which is 3 Houses, in the end I wasn't as impressed with Sombron. I thought at first he seemed really cool. I liked his design. I especially liked his dragon design because it looked more like a cobra snake. Or, I'm saying the right snake, right? Anyway, my nose keeps trying to stop up for some reason. No, my nose hasn't ran all day, but anyway. Yeah, anyway, I really loved his design. So, making him in Sims was a lot of fun. But him as a character, and I want to know, anyone who has actually beat the game, if you've listening and got to this point, Let me know how you felt about Sombron, because at the end, that very last scene where you go and fight him, the final boss scene, and he mentions his intentions of why he's doing all this stuff. I don't know. It's just something about it. It was off to me. Because it was like he was trying to find the one friend. He wouldn't even open up to anyone else in this new world. Yeah, it sucks. You got put into a world that was not yours. I'm sorry. Or a dimension, or whatever you want to call it. I forgot how it was sort of phrased or worded. But anyway, I'm sorry. That you had an emblem that was like your friend, but then they no longer was around. I get it sucks. And you know, if I lost a friend, I would be very upset. But I don't think I would go and try to destroy the world. And I don't think I'd go and have a bunch of children with people I didn't care about. And then not care about the kids either. I don't know, it just, as far as antagonist vibes of reasonings, granted, you know, there's thousands of games that I haven't played out there. It was, by the time I got to the end, I didn't find him as interesting or as cool as I thought he was going to be by the time I got to the end. And, you know, I thought it was sort of fun and interesting when you found out that technically Sombron is your father. So that's sort of cool. That was cool. Leading up to that point was cool. And, you know, the story of him, like, treating you badly was, you know, not cool, technically, but, you know, giving a reason to why your sister would want to actually join your side. It made sense why you actually opened up to someone who wasn't your biological mother, but then became your mother because she treated you better. And basically adopted you. You know, it gave that story and dimension to your own character, but then it was like it just fell off with the rest of Sombron's story. And it's like, you don't have to be a good dad, but your reasoning just because you lost your emblem friend is why you're not good to any of these people. You had devoted followers. You had apparently people who wanted to be with you romantically because apparently he had a bunch of kids. You know, 2 of them. But the way they talk, there was like at least double digits worth of kids. And I'm going to assume most of them probably didn't have the same mother because you and your sister don't look anything alike. And right now I'm forgetting her name. I'm picturing her. And I can't remember her name right now. She has black and white hair. Anyway. I don't know. It's just really strange. And I really wish my husband would get to play it. We have like a list of games that we're sort of playing with each other that are single player games. So we want to get through that list first. So this game obviously isn't on that list, but he might end up playing it anyway. I don't know. But a part of me really wants him to play it so I can just talk to him about this. Because I'm like, I don't know. Something was just, I didn't. Anyway, I feel like I've talked for longer than my video is. I can fix that if I need to. Anyway, but yeah, let me know your thoughts about Sombron as a sim, but also if you play the game, definitely would like to hear them. Because, yeah, I was like, the antagonist for 3 Houses definitely was, to me, more interesting. So, that's just me. Maybe. I don't know. But I'd like to hear it. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit that lovely like button, subscribe. You know all that lovely YouTube goodiness, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. There is at least one more Fire Emblem Create a Sim because I already had it created. But after that, we'll be starting the new Create a Sim. So hope you look forward to that. But for now, bye-bye!